UPSC preparation drains two finite assets: your strictly limited 24 hours and your daily mental bandwidth. These assets disappear when you hoard thousands of unread PDFs, bounce between conflicting YouTube strategies, and try to memorize massive content libraries. This creates a paradox. Many aspirants fail because of extreme information overload, rather than a lack of study material. Traditional coaching models often accelerate this overload. They deliver hundreds of hours of lectures and daily PDF dumps, operating on the logic that providing more content equates to more value, regardless of whether the student can actually retain it. Elevate IAS, built by Abhilash Sir, is structured as a rejection of that philosophy. The platform operates on the premise that surviving the exam requires you to actively consume less content. We have to evaluate whether this mentor-guided self-study model is a genuine efficiency hack, or if it is simply a platform for those unable to afford a traditional coaching hub. Most students default to Path A, funneling all available time into passive consumption. This leaves 0 hours for the recall practice required to actually clear the exam. The bottleneck happens at the point of consumption. High content volume actively prevents revision because the brain cannot process and sort new data while being flooded with another 3-hour lecture. For an alternative path to work, it has to restrict your daily intake to force your time back into targeted revision. Surviving the UPSC ecosystem requires aggressive attention management. A viable preparation ecosystem must reduce the noise because raw data without retention does not lead to success. You have to force the textbook shut and stop the cycle of passive absorption to begin the work of active thinking. Elevate IAS's core pedagogy strips away passive reading. The system requires you to link daily current affairs directly back to previous year questions. This current affairs to governance linkage means analyzing the news as live examples of systemic institutional functions, rather than as isolated facts to memorize. This approach aims to sharpen exam-oriented analytical thinking. When you understand the underlying framework of the syllabus, the need to rote memorize disjointed data points disappears. However, this active linkage creates a very high cognitive load. It is exhausting work that requires significantly more mental energy than sitting through a standard history lecture. This matrix breaks down the exact input required from you on a daily basis. While traditional methods allow you to stay in a state of passive consumption, the Elevate model demands high-intensity, active linkage during every study session. This trades the psychological comfort of feeling productive while watching a video for the difficult mental work required for actual exam recall. Beyond the method, you have to maintain a high-friction routine over hundreds of days. This is the purpose of the mentor-guided accountability structure. The system requires specific inputs: following daily email-based guidance, attending weekly sessions for strategy correction, and maintaining preparation tracking. A mentor has strict limits. They can enforce consistency and catch strategic drift, but they cannot magically transfer knowledge into your brain. Elevate IAS states clearly that no institute can replace self-study. Toppers consistently confirm that the bulk of the actual work happens alone at a desk. This lack of hand-holding is a significant trade-off. Without a giant classroom to hide in, success in this program relies on your own self-drive. The environmental pressure is inverted. You lose the safety net of the crowd, leaving you entirely responsible for your daily output. This model offers no place to hide. Passive learners often find that this environment quickly exposes exactly how much work they are or aren't actually doing on their own. The financial cost of traditional coaching is steep. Aspirants frequently pay lakhs of rupees for foundation courses and test series, plus the high cost of living in hubs like Delhi. By contrast, Elevate IAS provides a low-cost, remote ecosystem that removes the geographical and heavy financial overhead. This brings up the 90 rupee orientation workshop. We should ask why a platform would charge such a small, specific fee just to hear your pitch. That 90 rupee fee functions as a seriousness filter. It requires a moment of intentionality that weeds out casual observers, ensuring the peer group consists only of those prepared to engage. This means you have to pay money up front just to evaluate the ecosystem, which overrides the industry expectation of completely free demo content. Traditional marketing relies on zero barrier entry to capture massive volume. Elevate uses a paid microfilter to deliberately narrow the room to serious candidates. Even the entry mechanism is designed to cause friction. It reinforces that this is an active partnership requiring commitment from day one. Preparation becomes much more efficient when a student's personal study habits are supported by a structure that addresses their specific strategic gaps. Elevate IAS shifts the responsibility of the work back to the student. The platform provides the strategic direction and resource filtering, but the student must provide the daily consistency required for retention. This scorecard helps determine who will find this ecosystem effective and who will likely struggle. This works for the overwhelmed beginner. If you are struggling with conflicting advice, a mentor-guided filter helps you identify exactly what not to read. It also suits the veteran. If you have foundational knowledge but keep failing prelims, you likely need a structured revision system to improve your results per hour studied. Finally, it fits the financially conscious aspirant who requires rigid structure and accountability but cannot justify a 3 lakh overhead to live in a residential hub. However, this system will fail the passive outsourcer. If you expect a celebrity teacher or a simple shortcut to guarantee a rank without doing the hard work yourself, you will find no value here. It is also not for those who need physical, residential peer pressure. If you require the energy of a physical Delhi library just to stay disciplined, a remote system is insufficient. The UPSC does not care whose classroom you sat in or how many gigabytes of PDFs you downloaded. It tests analytical thinking and your ability to recall information under pressure. Choose the ecosystem that specifically maximizes your personal capacity to sit down, revise, and execute.